If you've ever felt like wellness was just out of reach or it's too complicated, our next guest is here to prove it actually doesn't have to be. Terry Chrisman is an Australian nutritionist with a passion for making healthy living feel easy and approachable, and yes, you guys, fabulous. And she's here this morning with her new book, Fabulous Health, a simple plan to get well and stay well. Good morning to you, Terry.
Thanks for having me, Erin.
Oh, so glad to have you here. Okay, so everyone has a different approach, right? Or a piece of advice to give when it comes to our health. But what does fabulous health truly mean to you, and how do we achieve it?
So it means waking up with abundant energy, being able to do all the things you want to do, go hiking, go skiing, running, whatever the physical thing that you want to do, and just having abundant energy, feeling utterly well in every way, both mentally, physically and emotionally.
Yes, and okay, and that sounds so good on the surface, right? But let's get into the nitty-gritty because it can get difficult. I mean, things come into play. Many people struggle with chronic conditions like high blood pressure or non-communicable diseases like Crohn's. And so there are plenty of misconceptions out there about those diseases, about what people are going through in order to achieve that fabulous health. And you kind of took a deep dive into that. Why was that important to you to do?
Well, my dad died of a massive heart attack at the age of 52, which is way too young for anybody to die of a heart attack. And at the time we thought that it was a genetic condition. And what we found over the past 35 years is that lifestyle plays a really big part in the way our trajectory of our health. So it was really important for me because I felt like I wanted to help other people. I couldn't help my dad. And I thought, well, now I've got this knowledge and this experience and I can help other people not suffer that same fate.
So it started with a personal issue and then you turned it into a passion to help others. I like that. Very good. Now, you focus in the book on the 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle living. And so can you break those down? We actually have them right here on the screen for you guys at home too. Yes,
so the first one, of course, is plant-based nutrition. It's proven to prevent and reverse lifestyle conditions like heart disease and diabetes, so that's really, really important. Physical activity, which is, it could be exercise or it could just be walking the dog or something like that. Stress reduction, getting enough sleep, not using smoking and illicit drugs and alcohol. And the last one is connection to others, having great relationships with people.
Which I think is a huge one, right? Because I think we don't prioritize that as much as we should. I think a lot of the times we can kind of coop up and we get into the throes of life, right? Career, family, all the things. And when you just get that one piece of second for you to be by yourself, you don't want to do anything else but that. But realizing that those connections actually do matter. And without them, I think we'd be a little lost. Now, food plays a huge part into this, right? Connections are great. Food is even bigger. Can you break down foods that harm us versus help us, especially as we age?
Certainly. Well, the foods that harm us are the inflammatory foods. So you're talking about animal products, meat and dairy, anything fried, anything ultra processed, fast food, and even a lot of, strangely enough, restaurant food. You would think that restaurant food's really healthy, but it usually has a lot of salt and a lot of fat in it and a lot of sugar. So we want to try and avoid as much as possible those foods. And the foods that heal are your whole plant foods. So your fruit, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices, things that you would be able to buy at the supermarket and then make your food at home.
Wow. Okay, wait. For all the people who are looking for a reason to not go out to eat this week, they're like, listen, I want to go so bad, but we don't need to spend the money. You're saying it's high in salt and it's high in fat, and it's not as healthy as we think. It might as well be right up there with fast food. My goodness.
Not all restaurant food,
not
but
all,
a lot
but
of restaurant
a lot
food.
of them. Okay, interesting. Tell me, because I actually have the book here, you guys, and I was going through it, and I marked this page just because of the simple fact that it's very interactive. There's a lot of places for you to kind of fill out different spots for you to. It's very personalized, and so tell me, why did you want to make it interactive? Why did you want people to put their own take on it?
Because a book is useless unless you take action. And I wanted at the end of every chapter to put some information in there so that people could understand the concepts a little better, reinforce their knowledge, and then there's space for people to journal about their experience and their journey so that they can start taking steps to a healthier lifestyle.
Yes, indeed. But they can also look back on it too, because I think when you're going through this journey and this process, you're like, my gosh, is it working? Am I doing it right? But you can go back through this book and say, okay, I started here and I'm not where I want to be, but I am here, which is great.
And
I love that.
for people who buy the Kindle book and the audio book, I'm working on a full printable workbook.
Nice.
So then there'll be a companion so that people will have that as well.
Very good. good. One actionable tip people can put in place today so they can get to some fabulous health.
Start with what you already like as far as whole plant foods and just eat more of that. So if you like broccoli, eat more broccoli. If you like bananas, eat more bananas.
I like that.
Crowd out the bad stuff and start introducing the good stuff.
Start with where you are and go from there. Where can people find you and where can they find the book?
I'm at fabuloushealth.net and everything's there.
There we go. Terry, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Erin.